we live yet? I hate this is so annoying. Okay. There. Finally see some live semblances of life. Anyway, it is Friday afternoon. It is past the mic. And I hate this. Who are you again?
John, Colder Ice Lawson. What's up, man? It's Friday.
Call me back, John. Really?
Oh, Lord. Did I forget to change that? Oh, well.
I'm Brent Leary. I never change. I never change.
Oh, my gosh.
People are thankful for that, too. You need something that's stable in their lives.
Man. The world is so unstable. If you're looking stable, that's pretty bad.
Anyway. It's Friday afternoon. It's slightly chilly, but not. It's actually kind of a nice end to the week. It's been a long week.
Really?
I'm glad it's over. I'm glad it's over. I mean, it's been a good week, so I'm not going to complain at all, unless some of your people come on, and then then I have to. But
what'd you say about my people before?
They're great. They're ones of a kind.
He was talking bad about my fans and followers. Wow.
Fans?
I meant to say friends. It just came out because I'm still chewing.
You calling them fanatics? Because that's what Prince said. Fans are short for fanatics.
Well, he should know because I am one of his.
No, so. Yeah, I am too.
Exactly. He used to create those in mass.
Yeah.
Anyway, we can't talk about Prince, and we can't talk about anything we talked about last week. Those are off the table.
I don't even remember what we talked about last week, so that'll be easy.
Well, there you go.
No, I want to talk about this economy.
The economy.
Did you see the numbers, the unemployment numbers? You know,
no, I didn't hear anything about it, so it's fresh and new for me.
So before I guess this is the November jobs report.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's all walking around on eggshells and stuff. You know, what is it? You know, because everybody is trying to figure out. Well, I shouldn't say everybody, but all the people that are big into the Wall Street and the stock market, they think they know what they're talking about. Most of them really don't, but they're always trying to read into whatever the numbers are in order to, I guess buy stuff or sell stuff or what have, or to say, oh yeah, this is a pure sign of the recession. So today they put out I think it was the November jobs report. And there's a lot of folks were starting to think, oh, it looks like the recession is finally here. It's, look, all these layoffs and such. Watch out for that jobs report. It might be an indicator of we're going down. So,
really?
Yeah, come on. How did you miss this? What have you been doing all week?
No, staying off. I don't watch the stock market. People talk about the stock market.
It's
I'm
hard
not
for
watching.
me to,
What is that? CNBC.
Me neither, because the last thing I want to do is see that Kramer dude on my TV. But
But okay, so all of these people are saying that, and then what? Okay, the build is great. Then what?
It was a good build up, wasn't it? So everybody is kind of expecting, the jobs report number to be down, or maybe not meet the lowered expectations that they already have. And surprise, damn near 200,000 new jobs created this past month. What are you doing now? What is it? What do you approve?
I guess. Sounds good.
Yeah, but what
I'm playing into the drama.
All the indicators, everything that comes out, it seems to point to like decent economic times.
So what's your point? It's an election year.
Nobody feels it. Nobody's saying, "Oh, I feel comfortable."
Year. It's an election year.
I don't know if it's just the election year or
I'm telling you, it's an
bunch of
election year.
sour pusses out there,
It's an
or
they gotta paint everything. You know, it doesn't matter what is, it's what you think it is that is the most important.
why isn't it what it is? I mean, why isn't the what's actual factual instead of
I
this
honestly I
perceived
can't give you
notion?
any other explanation.
It just feels weird. Like the numbers are not bad. They haven't been bad,
But people feel
but
bad.
people feel bad.
That's what I'm saying.
Inflation. People are saying, well, part of it, inflation. Inflation is actually kind of down this
Yeah,
year
but I
compared to
mean,
last year. I know it's still, but I mean, but it is down.
you can't blow up to 300 pounds and then go back to 290 and be like, but I'm down 10 pounds.
But no, it feels like there's more positive than negative, but
Absolutely.
the feel is like, no, it's got to be more negative because I feel bad, but it's not that bad. It doesn't feel like it's, I mean, it doesn't assume to be that bad if you look at the actual numbers, but the feeling is
Let me
bad.
ask
The
you a
numbers
question.
aren't.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Could the numbers lie? And if they could, how could they?
I'm sure they could.
No, I'm just curious because I'm just wondering, are the feelings wrong or are the numbers wrong?
I
How
think,
about that?
you know what? Here's the funny thing about that. I don't think the feelings are wrong if they're real feelings,
Yeah, that's true. I
There
mean,
may
they are, but they are just feelings, and we all
they
got
are
feelings.
just feelings.
Yeah.
For the most part, because look, unemployment went down from 3.9% to 3.7. It's been under 4% for a long time at this point.
We have not had a problem with employment in a long time. Not since,
So, but isn't that usually one of the pillars of a recession when the unemployment creeps up and people who are looking for work can't find it?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
So
There's things that going on, that they're beyond my pay grade.
I don't know how to respond to that one, but people who want a job seemingly can get a job based on those
hey,
numbers.
here's the deal. You need a job just to survive these days. You need two.
Do you have two?
I got multiple. I'm doing work right now. I'm going to sit through this nonsense.
Look, I know that there are a lot of I know personally, I know a number of folks who do kind of the Uber, gig economy stuff as a enhancement to their.
Is that still a thing?
I think whenever you go into a Uber, don't you ask, do you do this part-time or full-time? I always ask that. I'm just curious.
Usually, you know what? I only get full-time Uber. Anytime I've asked, I haven't got any of the hybrid anymore, really. I just get all the full times, and they always tell me, because I always ask too, right? But they always start the story off with, like how much they used to make.
Really?
Yeah, because they, it's interesting. I got this one guy. He's been driving Uber forever. He just said he loves to drive, and he's been driving for a long time since they started, right? And but he was just talking about how much of the actual fare he gets to keep now versus how much he used to keep back in the day, and how there's just more and more little, nibbles at his income, and his income's based on per mile, right? And I mean, is only the only way to compensate for that is to drive more, or to find different locations, or know which ones to pick up and which not. Which is you're not supposed to know, but if you drive long enough, he kind of knew. It was just interesting, all kinds of shit. But I do talk to people. Don't you?
Yeah, like I was saying,
you still get the part timers.
So the last guy I think was a guy that is a part-time driver, and works for UPS.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
and but he's not a driver.
At UPS.
Because that's where the big money apparently is when you get that, and he's working his way up to that. I don't know if once he gets that he drops off of the Uber thing, but possibly. But he's not a full-time driver. On the flip side, most of them, I think the majority of them are. Like this one guy I was talking with, I think he said he tries to do like 12 hours a day. I'm like, damn. But and then
Part
he
time?
no,
Oh
no,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
no, he's a
They'll work.
full-time driver.
Yeah, they'll work like 10 to 12 hours. And I mean, when we say, there's a lot of downtime in the 10 to 12 hours sometimes.
But you know what? Even working 12 hours, and sometimes their work, they can do 20, 20 rides or even more rides per day based,
Yep.
So they're making a pretty significant amount of money, but they're not keeping a significant amount of money, I guess. Because he was talking about how much more a rent, because they can't even afford to buy a house, but renting an apartment, and had 2 or 3 kids. And so although he's making a lot, his rent is more than my mortgage is by several $100s a month. And he's got 3 kids he's got to take care of. And so the good thing is, the more the it's pretty much up to him how much he works. If he wants to drive more, he can drive more. If he wants to drive less, he can drive less. And apparently, like a lot of these drivers, they've kind of worked out how much money a day they
They
need to
need to
make.
make.
Right. And so based on that, that's how they set their hours up, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So some ways that's good, other ways not so much, because there's no room margin for error, you know.
Well, there is. There is.
Mm,
There has to be because they don't hit it right all the time.
that's true, but a lot of them will say, I would love to have a job that I didn't, I had this,
You
I
knew what
knew I
was
was
coming
getting
in
this a
all the
month.
time. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The
And I don't
grass is
know.
always greener sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. So on the one hand, I I look at it, I think the big positives, and if I were in that situation, I don't know what I would do, but it feels like there's something nice about making your own schedule and working, when you want, how you want, because that, knowing what you need, you can kind of set up your day or your schedule like that. That's kind of cool. On the flip side, there is something nice to be said about a regular salary and benefits and health insurance and things like that, that most of these people are missing out on. So maybe that's the part that people are thinking about when they think about the feeling they have with this economy. It's like, I don't have a regular monthly salary. I don't have health benefits. I don't get, vacation time. But I am working. Uh, but it feels like your work a day by day situation versus like a career situation. So maybe that's what's going on here. That would kind of explain it a little bit if that were the case.
I can't remember my thought that I was having in there that I wanted to
Damn, you
say.
are old.
I did, yeah, a little bit. Um, but anyway, yeah, you're right. So like, oh no, um, man, what was the thought? It was just about, oh, okay, yeah. So the guy's got he's got to work. He's got to work 10 to 12 hours. He kind of makes his own shift up, blah blah blah, right? But he's still just making ends meet. You know what I'm saying? He's renting a house. He's got kids to pay for or to feed. The wife is probably working too. You
Health
know,
insurance?
health insurance that's not being covered, like you said. There's no sick time, right? So yes, people have to be employed. You know what I'm saying? There's so much option to be employed. It's almost, I can't ever see the unemployment numbers. They might spike again. Yes, I mean I do, but I mean there's so many opportunities to do your own side hustles that there's a lot of ways to, you could sell stuff on eBay. You could sell stuff with the Etsy stores. There's just a lot of things that employ people these days that were not like, oh, I work for, corporation so and so, and that was considered employment. I think a lot of this economy definitely is making up their own employment.
The other thing, as I was thinking about the good old days of, back like 30, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago.
Back in your 30s.
As I was saying, 20, 30 years ago, that, you would have a job that not only did you get vacation time and you had a salary and you had health insurance, you also had that option to put in a 401k, and you put your own money and it's matched by the company. And you know what was it Albert Einstein? I don't know if this is true if he said this or not, but like the greatest thing in the invention of mankind was compounded interest or something like that. So if you just worked your job and participated in stuff like that and did nothing else, you started to accumulate a little nest egg.
But
So
see, think about that. You're go ahead, finish that. I got it. I got something.
yeah, so I was just saying, not only are these, the what do we call it, hustle economy, or I forget the
Yeah,
actual,
I mean, that's when it started.
the
I
gig
wouldn't call it
economy.
that.
I
The
think it was the
gig,
gig
yeah,
economy.
that's it.
Yeah. So think about gig economy folks. They can do their own thing. They can make their own schedule. They can work to the point where they cover their bills.
Yep.
But as you said, all that is just keeping you like afloat. That's
I'm
just
not saying that's just keeping you afloat. It could be, no.
mm,
But for the average Joe, you know, here's the thing. If we're talking unemployment, why are so many people doing that when there's not even enough jobs for the people that are doing gig economy to actually work in the actual old school corporate economy? There's not that many jobs.
right. There's certain jobs are
So
just gone
so when
forever.
we talk, unemployment numbers, could they be a little bit wrong
No,
comparative to what we used to think unemployment numbers were?
well, interestingly enough, I think the participation rate actually increased. Like more people are coming in looking for a job, and apparently they're finding, because unemployment is low, even though that number is going up. But I think it's the
Oh,
work.
unemployment's going up?
No, the
Oh,
workforce participation number.
the
More
people
people
that's
who want
saying
a
that they,
job, yeah,
yeah,
can get a job, basically, because they're
all right.
they're
And
they're
then they
looking
say there's other
again.
people that just have fallen off of stopped looking, and they don't
Right.
count those people.
But I think it's the wealth. People are thinking more about wealth than they are about salaries. And like I said, if you were working back in the day and you had a 401k, you're participating in the stock market, because the stock market is close to an all-time high.
Yeah.
And even though maybe you're, some folks are like, yeah, I'm working, I got a job, I got a couple
I
of
just,
jobs in the gig economy. They don't have any 401k, they don't have any investments that rise with the tide of the market.
dude, this is crazy. So the money that is in the stock market, who gets that money? If I put money into stocks, who gets that money?
Hmm. Who gets it?
Who gets it?
Well, unless you're doing your own trading, there's going to be a trader that gets a percentage
No,
of it.
that's a percentage off the top.
Okay.
Who gets the money?
Well, so the money, so you are buying, let's say you have a broker account. And so you are putting money in for either a mutual fund.
It doesn't matter. Who gets the money? Simplify it, please.
Well, the money the money goes to buy stocks. So whoever is selling the stock gets the
Here's
money.
here's where I'm thinking. Okay, let's work this out.
Right.
'Cause, okay, the people that get the money, quote, are the corporations that get the investment money.
Institutional investors.
The corporation itself, right? The people that run the corporation, don't they get the money from the
All
stock?
right, so let's
If
say
they sell the stock, they get the money. They cash
so.
out.
All right, let's go all the way to that. All right, so a company goes IPO, and let's say they are setting up. They have 10 million shares.
Right. They're selling a part of their company.
So there's a total of 10 million shares, but when they do the IPO, they're only going to put 1 million on the
Um,
market, right?
a little bit more than that,
Well,
probably. But
well, I'm
yeah,
just saying it's easy math. That's
yeah.
10
So
million, 1
let's
million.
say 10% of
So
the company
10%.
they're putting up for sale. Yes.
So that million shares goes out, and that's what drives the market.
Okay,
But that but those other 9 million that are safe and sound, they're
we're
owned
not
by the
talking. I
company.
don't care about those.
Well,
I'm
I mean,
talking about the 10 million
no, you're talking about the million,
or the million.
right?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So the answer to the question, in my opinion,
Yeah.
is that the money that goes in the stock market goes into corporations.
It goes into whoever owns the stock.
Okay. Just can we? I'm trying to simplify.
There are
No,
institutional
it's
buyers and
not
there
the
are
person.
individual buyers, right? I mean, I can go into
Well,
my little,
wait.
I can go into, I can go
Wait.
into my little Edward Jones account and I can see what I own.
You can't individually IPO.
I'm not saying that, but if you're
Right.
going
So
to
I'm
break it,
saying that the money that's being sold, the thing that's being sold, are shares in a company. Yes. I
right,
buy for the
right,
shares in the company.
right.
Somebody has that money. Who took the $10 that I paid for that share?
It goes
Where's
to the
that
person
money?
who's buying it. I don't know what else to tell you.
You mean the person that's selling it?
Or the institute, yeah, the person is, or the
Okay,
institution is
no.
selling. Yes,
Okay,
that's who has it.
so when if I say corporations, then that would be pretty accurate, wouldn't it?
The biggest investors are institutional investors. Yes.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. Right. So good. We agree now that the money that goes in the stock market is available to the institutions. How
Whoever
about that?
owns the
Let's say it.
stock that can buy and sell it, yeah.
Right. So the funny thing is, who matched my payroll stock purchases?
Hmm.
When I'm working for the company and you're
Mhm.
saying, hey, they give me, stock options, or not even stock options, that they're going to match my contribution
Right, up to a certain percentage or
up to a
something.
certain percentage. It's a corporation that's telling you to do that. And they're saying, hey, we'll match it if you put your money back in to the thing that we actually are selling to people. Dude,
Right.
I don't know. That is the biggest circle jerk I've ever. And
Only
all of
if
a
you
sudden,
only if the stock goes up.
only if the stock goes down.
No, it's only
Somebody
worth
gets
anything to the individual if the stock goes up.
right, but the only way it goes up is if people put
Well,
more money into it.
no, but all
Oh
right. So
my gosh,
the full
man!
circle is it only goes up if these quarterly earnings beat estimates of these financial analyst folks
That's
who
it.
are the ones who set the
And so
tone
you're
for all this
right, and
nonsense.
so basically, it's that money is being funded into that machine.
Right.
Right. Okay. That's all. That's all. It's absolutely a funny thing though when I break it down and just think about it. It's like, you took your money that you took from me the first place and then made me put my extra money back in to get the thing running. It's a good spin. It's a good spin cycle.
Well,
And they take their money out way faster than we do.
but the thing is, it's a look, just use your terminology, good spin cycle. But the little guy makes a little money in that particular scenario, while the big guys, of course, make the big money. But right now, the Uber folks ain't making none of that because they don't have a 401k. They don't have a
Yeah,
matching program.
they should own part of that program.
What they should and would and could are not the same as do. And so right now, all these, the gig economy folks, although they are working and they are able to, pay the bills, they're not accumulating wealth. Like, my parents were both school teachers.
Yeah,
School teachers.
that's what I'm saying. You can't it's not the same time. It's not the
Nah.
same dollar.
So so you know what? I've talked myself into kind of understanding to a certain extent why there's this a feeling of uneasiness upon this economy. It's because a lot of the folks just aren't participating in the wealth accumulating aspects of this economy. They're doing the day by day stuff. They can work and they can set their own hours, but a lot of them don't have to pay for their own health insurance, which my parents didn't have to pay for because they were government employees, state of Delaware employees. They didn't have to pay for health. They had time off. They had lots of time off because school teachers, you got the summer off. So they got good salaries. They had great benefits. They had time off and they participated in a 401k like program. All of that is gone for these gig people now. So maybe I've just found out why there is this unease, because the more the percentage of working population is gig, the higher the uneasiness is, because those folks aren't participating in the wealth accumulating aspects.
They don't have, well, I don't know if it's all that, but I definitely don't feel like they might feel as secure as your school teacher parents did in the 70s.
Well, let's play, the 70s and 80s, but
80s, but I'm just saying, I mean, and not in a bad way.
No, but my school teacher parents. Now I'm really thinking about this, because I had no idea we were like just middle class kids or whatever you call it, because we had a house, we had my dad was buying Cadillacs, we were going on trips, and they were teachers, for crying out loud. I mean, I thought we were kind of living large comparative to what's going on now on teachers' salaries. But teachers today who make more probably don't have the lifestyle that my parents did back then.
They don't make more.
My parents bought their house in 1964.
My daughter's a teacher now, and so
I'm just saying my parents.
I know what the teachers are making.
Yeah, my parents bought a house,
but it still has that.
Can I get this out, please? My parents bought a house in 1964 for $22,000. Okay. That house is worth 20 times that amount now, but they were able to buy it on for almost next to nothing.
So I mean,
I don't know what the equivalent is now.
Is it bread 20 times as much now?
Could be. I don't know.
Yeah, what I'm saying. I'm just saying the cost of living has definitely gone up.
Well, let's put it like this: there's the cost.
In real estate,
the house has grown 20 times. Yeah. People's salaries, teacher salaries, have not grown by 20x like those housing prices have. Let's put it like that.
No, exactly. And so you just can't get what you used to get out of what you make.
Well,
I think there's something to be said, though, what you said about not having that, all of that infrastructure could definitely lead to the way people feel. Absolutely.
Well, and healthcare costs are way higher.
Just insane.
So if you don't have health insurance, which is also way higher, then you get a double hit if something happens and you don't have health insurance.
And they want to take that away from you too. Won't give it to you, want to take it away.
So I think I understand what's going on. I think this has been really helpful, because although unemployment is low, unemployment is one thing. The feeling you get of security when you had a job that had benefits, that had health insurance, that had 401ks, those are the pieces that are probably never coming back for most people, and that causes the uncertainty.
The best years of America's numbers, right? With unemployment, slavery, 100% employment.
Damn. Okay.
I'm serious. No. I'm serious.
I'm not going there.
I'm saying just having a job doesn't mean you're going to be happy. So people are out here, man, and they are in servitude. Let's put it like that. And they feel like it.
Yeah, I'm going to stay away from that one, but I get it.
I'm
just saying. It's a whole. The economy is completely flipped in such a way that, well, employers still have the upper hand. Actually, the employers are in a stronger position now because they don't have to pay for the stuff that they used to have to pay for. Remember when people would,
Oh yeah, that's why they don't have the same benefits. Even if you're working, you're not getting the same
people who work
benefit.
at IBM now do not have the same benefits as the folks that
Uh-huh.
worked 20, 30 years ago.
And the people that have it want to keep it. You
Of
know.
course, because that's part. Once again, the cost acceleration for a lot of this stuff has far outstripped the amount of money salary acceleration. That's been like this. Cost is like this. So you're not able to keep up with what was going on back then because these things have completely diverged in terms of salary acceleration and cost acceleration. And we haven't
But
even talked
I've
about
seen
school.
I've
Like,
seen income
can you imagine sending your kid to college today compared to like
for
20,
what?
30 years ago?
For what?
Well, I'm just saying.
I
When I
mean,
went to
if they ain't
school,
trying to be a doctor or a lawyer, for what?
when I went to school, well, I got a free ride, but the actual cost to go to school was like $6,000 a year. That's like a week now at school. So that's part of the equation. Housing, of course, we know that's crazy at this point. And so now, okay, this has really helped me because I have seen, oh, unemployment numbers are great. People are able to work, and I'm constantly asking, why is everybody walking around like they've been hit over the head? I think I know now,
Yes,
particularly if you're
because
in the gig economy. I get it. I understand it now.
okay, silver spoon. All right,
Not
thank you.
even a silver spoon. Kid, I was a kid from teachers. That's a silver spoon.
I'm just
But
eh,
it's amazing what's
but
going
you
on.
know what? I've also seen the income rise of a lot of people, right, at this time. So, you know, there's
Income versus wealth accumulation. Though. That's what I'm thinking. Some
well,
people, there are
wealth
a lot.
I mean, I can't really say that we've participated in wealth, accumulation for many, you know. I mean, this is the first generation that's really having that conversation.
Well, but because one of the biggest, well, two of the biggest wealth accumulation vehicles, 401ks and housing, are well, one is completely evaporated because we don't. I don't know how many what percentage of jobs actually has the offer of a 401k to actually go into, but how many people in the gig economy are owning houses at this point? Not many because they can't afford them. So if they don't have a house that accumulates and increases in price, and they don't have a 401k that does the same, the two biggest wealth creators in this country are completely shut off to these folks.
I wonder what the average home price is now. Like the average starter home. But I'm thinking they need like 300K. You know, I'm
Damn,
serious. If you think about it, right?
that's
That's
tough.
yeah,
And
that's a lot, bro. That's comparatively. Give me a
and
break.
and think about the interest rate that you would have to get to pay for a three
Uh,
hundred
I
thousand
think I
dollar house.
think it is right. It's like 7.5%. It's not as bad as it was when I bought my house.
When I bought this house, I think it was 6 7/8 or six and three
What
quarters.
year was that?
1999,
1901, 1902,
1999. But then I refinanced in 2013 and
1999.
it's 3 7/8 or something like that. And
Uh,
I'm just riding that
so
one out.
I got mine in 7, and I think it was 9%
Damn.
with a floater,
See, I never
right?
did the floating. I always went a 30-year fix.
No, that's because the floater was actually supposed to be the cheaper one,
I
right? Because
it
it was always thought of as it would be
oh,
cheap
it's only cheap when the
when
interest
the
rates aren't.
economy's good and
Yeah.
bad,
No,
right?
when that inflation hits, guess what else goes up? No, I
Um,
want a 30-year fix because I wanted to be able to sleep at night regardless of what the economy is doing.
okay, let me
I
get
always
my
wanted to
story out.
all right.
So the floater, right? actually worked out well because the economy started going down. That's why when I got mine, it was at 9. When you got yours 2 years later, it was at 7. See, so what everybody was like, oh, it's bad. Mine floated down. So today it's like 5.5%. And that's because it moved up, but it only would move 1 point per year.
Yeah, I
So,
refinanced 2013 and got it at 3 7/8 for a 15-year mortgage.
so the deal is you could buy a house for like a third, maybe even a fifth of what it takes to do today. So
Yeah.
that means it's 5 times more expensive if we use that number of like, you know, 250, 300. It's 5 times more expensive to get a starter.
All right. So you factor that in, factor the healthcare situation in, and the
Healthcare.
insurances, and the lack of 401k. And even though you're making pretty good, money day by day,
You're
you're
gonna have
not
to keep
you're not
making that.
accumulating wealth. You're
You
not
gotta,
growing wealth.
yep.
And that is where I believe the feeling, the uneasiness is really setting in.
And you don't really have a place to put savings into either these days, do you?
Well, you don't make
You gotta
anything else.
open it. You gotta have a you know what is it, a Roth IRA. That's what you do. On
Right. But
this
once
side.
again, you're not getting a match for that. You're not, no company is giving you
Nope.
a 3% match. So you're not getting
Nope.
that additional oomph. It's just coming out. And let's face it, savings is, who has
No, there's
savings?
no such thing. You're saving the bank from going under. That's what you do.
So even though unemployment is low, the uneasiness still
Credit
remains
cards.
up
Remember we
here.
said the credit
Oh,
cards.
well, see, people are buying, are using money they don't have.
Yeah, you put that on top. Okay, so what's the good side? What's the upside here?
All right.
Let's bring people up on
Speaking,
a Friday just before
speaking,
Christmas. Come on.
all right, but here's well, maybe so the good thing is, if you are able to start saving a little and do it regularly
Uh
and put it into some kind of vehicle,
huh.
over time you will make money. That has not changed. That story has not changed. Now, the get rich quick stuff, yeah, good luck with that. But if you're able to just consistently put, good look, I don't consider myself to be a rich dude.
Oh God, here we go.
No, but all I'm saying is,
I know
I
that you're going to give me this whole story about I put a dime in the ocean.
but it's true. I mean, that's the one thing that is still a constant. If you are able to put some money away
Okay, I get
regularly,
it.
then
I
you're
get it.
then you accumulate some wealth, and you won't feel as bad as, I mean, I don't feel that bad because I'm not in that particular situation. But I can understand why
That's
people
not
who
what
are gig are in that feeling of uneasiness because they don't have any
I guess.
accumulated wealth to fall back on.
I don't know if that's all that it's about, but
Dude, you can't take a day off, because if you do, you won't make no money. That's an uneasy feeling. You see, you getting all choked up and everything. Dang, he went off. You went off, and he must be having a cough attack, folks, because he put
I
the
did.
yeah, I thought so. Getting all choked up and
Anyway,
everything. But you know
no,
what? I
I,
I think I understand what's going on. I feel a better understanding of why these numbers are that we traditionally think of as, oh, what's wrong? These numbers are only a measure of,
numbers.
no, well, only a measure of what you're able to earn on a daily basis. It has nothing to do with your wealth accumulation. It
It
doesn't have
has nothing
anything
to
to
do with
do,
consumer sentiment.
or like I said, the ability to accumulate.
I mean, I think that's oversimplification. I don't know if that's also, I
I'll
mean,
tell you
I
another.
think here's another thing, man. I believe in post traumatic stress syndrome. All right. Um, not as, and I don't mean that as somebody that's actually been diagnosed. All right. But I just think, the world has got a little PTSD, and everybody just wants you to just all of a sudden snap out of, COVID, and it's just, it's people are not. I don't know. Everything's just not the same. We try to make it seem the same. The numbers have never read the same since COVID when it came to consumer
You,
sentiment.
you said something I think is another component. You said it doesn't seem the same, but there is this whole, we got to add this other component of what's going on with social media. If you look at social media, you would think everybody is famous and rich and doing all this, have all these millions of followers. So that means that, and then you start to feel, well, why don't I have that? And that adds another layer onto this thing. It's like the perceived thing that you see all these other people
Yeah,
looking
you
like they're
watch
living the
everybody
life.
else's highlight reel,
Yeah.
and you compare it to your real life.
And yeah, to your
Definitely,
real life. Exactly.
absolutely,
And that has to
absolutely.
add on to this.
Yeah, it totally does. Yeah, that's it. There are a lot of things that contribute to possibly the psyche of people today. And maybe that's why they feel the way they feel. I don't know.
I think it's a
Social
whole
media is crazy.
it's so many
That's what I'm
things.
saying. Though, you see a lot of people though that are going up in income. Like you said, it's day to day income, but it's going high.
But
So
it's going up, but their expenses are going up even faster. Like they want the things they see people they
now I
think they
think
have.
that is part of what should be brought. I just saw something the other day. There was like this bottle party where they're in a club just smashing bottles. Like, buy expensive thing and just smash it. It's like,
For no reason.
for no reason. And it's like, I could smash this bottle. Okay. It's the stupidest thing I ever saw, right? Um, but I think to the effect of, we try to show everything, and it's like, put some of that shit away. Put a lot of that shit away. You don't have to live in that realm. I mean, I'm sure your parents had some sort of, realm that they lived in to allow them to save what they saved during that time. They didn't spend it all. They wasn't popping bottles and going to the club every weekend.
Or any weekend.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like it's the little things that I think are areas where we can make a little adjustments.
Well, I think there's the
Make a difference.
imposter syndrome. Different spin on it is, I do think people measure their popularity as part of their who they are. And if they see, like, you go and look on the any of these TikTok, YouTubes, people measure themselves by how many fans.
Likes.
No, fans. They actually believe it's fans or followers. And if they don't have enough people as followers or fans, that weighs them down too, because they think you have to have that in order to be, viewed as important or whatever. I don't get it. I don't care about all that stuff. I'm not a young guy. Those younger folks are definitely driven by all that. I mean, you go on YouTube and there are so many channels of people now. They're doing, well, I don't want to get too far into that, but there all these people doing these little skit kind of things, and you can tell that they're trying to actually derive a real income off of this ridiculous stuff, because they see other people who have millions of followers doing that stuff, and they don't realize only but a handful of people are actually making money off of doing that nonsense. It just gets to be.
Now you're ranting, old man.
I am ranting, but it's part of the equation. It's part. Look, I get it. If you can find a way to make a living off of just doing what you want, you're going to take your shot. But at some point, it doesn't happen, and reality settles in on you, and that's when that whole thing about, man, I feel bad. I feel I can't do what I want to do. Guess I gotta go get a job. And now the jobs that they get are not highfalutin jobs. They're not jobs that you brag about. And now those jobs don't even come with benefits or time off or health insurance. That's some pretty depressing stuff when you think about it. I don't know how I got to that, but I think it's all playing in on this.
I'm just letting you go.
But it all plays in on this whole overarching feeling of unease, uncertainty, and somewhat depression. I mean,
I mean, there's a lot going on more than just jobs, bro. That's jobs are not going to mean that everybody's going to be happy because the job numbers are. I don't think I didn't even know they were pulling the number today.
But see, you're an old.
I'm not playing the lottery.
No, you're an old dude.
I think the fact that
you got your money, you've got real estate, you've got some money. You're not in the same position as these folks that are half our age. But I'm just saying, I already admitted that.
And they're half your age.
That's what I said.
I know.
But that's why we are in a position that we can't really feel what's going on out there the way these younger folks who never had a job like that gave them that.
I don't think they're paying attention. I didn't pay. Did you pay attention to the stock market when you were younger?
Man, I started buying when I was 25.
I never paid any attention to the stock market until my 30s. Definitely not something that was on the radar.
My first brokerage account was set up in 1994.
Oh my God, you are old.
And every month for 5 years, every month I would put money in. And then when I moved down here, I didn't do that because I was kind of nervous about, I might need money, but I never took it. I never took any of it out. So a lot of that stuff, a lot of my investments go back 30 years.
People, bro, I'm sorry. Young people do not be thinking about being your age. You are.
I'm not saying they have
to. I'm just saying.
Well, you ought to know because you were there before I was.
I'm just saying. I mean, so what's your point? You're saying, hey, save some money. Yes, we get it. Okay, Dad. Okay, Dad.
Oh, okay. Look, these folks have so much,
but I don't think that's really,
they have so much going against them, and they feed into it. They're feeding into it.
It definitely is a feedback.
Not everybody can monetize a YouTube channel for.
But not everybody's trying to do that.
I'm not saying they are, but there's a lot. You go on these channels and you see it. It's you can't hide it. People are trying to become the next. What was that? The chick that did YouTube and then got her some kind of HBO show, Insecure. What was that chick's name? I'm serious. Everybody wants to be that. Wants to have that story. Come on.
You are old.
I'm not denying it, but I'm saying
what's that?
And it's not even the young folks, the old folks. Now I'm seeing people with reaction channels that are like the grandparents react to music. I mean, really?
It's an opportunity for people to get their creative, juices going. So I don't think that's a bad thing.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but if that's what if we produce a nation full of content creators, which is what apparently people are really striving for, we're going down the tubes in a most dramatic fashion because the world does not need a bunch of content creators. We don't need all of that.
So much content.
We just don't need it as much. I don't care how great it is. You can't watch all this stuff anyway.
They got views.
Yeah, but that views does not necessarily mean money.
It does.
Not enough money.
That's the one thing. Yeah, you know what? That's the one thing I definitely think is the strongest part about YouTube is that views can equal money from day one.
I'm talking about enough money to survive on, not just the.
Oh, no, that's not a lot of money, but it definitely is tied to the money, and that money is tied to people's time, right? And the advertisers that will advertise there to get attention, it there is an economy there.
But here's the
And
thing about that, even the advertisers are not increasing the amount of money they spend. All they're doing is distributing it to a bunch of smaller folks, and so that get a little piece versus going to the main places they used to go and putting a big chunk on one or two at a time. Now they're just sprinkling it around.
but I
So
kind of like the sprinkle.
that's nice, but the sprinkle doesn't get you accumulation of wealth because everybody's getting a little. There's not a few getting a lot.
I don't know what you want, man. I don't know what you want.
What I
You
want,
trying to take apart YouTube now?
no, I'm just saying there's so many people creating a bunch of content that they think that's their ticket. I mean, look, there's some folks I don't want to name, but it's like, oh my God, they don't know. There's a video. I should try to find a link to that. By these guys have been content creators. It's a photographer guy. He's been doing this for like 15 years. Him and his wife. What's it? Tony and something. I can't remember. They have over 1 million followers or subscribers on YouTube, and they have been talking. They do all this reviewing the latest and greatest camera and video photography stuff. Excellent job. They did this video.
Yeah, I think I saw that video.
Yeah, where they talk about we have 1 million subscribers, but
how they broke down what it meant.
Yeah, and how
they have to work to get it. And
I wish every person who goes down this path looked at that video because it breaks it down into bare realities, which I think most people that go down this path surely are lacking. Because I think a lot of folks see the 15 million subscribers and think, oh man, all I have to do is what they do, and I'm going to end up like that. Nah, that ship has sailed. The train has left. That ain't happening to all these folks anymore. Get over it. I'm just saying,
man, there's a lot of eyeballs. If you can get some of those eyeballs, you can be famous too.
But you don't even have to be famous.
I'm just saying, leave them people alone, man.
These people don't.
You want those people to stop and go and work for corporate America and save money in their 401k. No, I get it.
No, at least you're not going to make any money off of reaction to old ass videos like everybody else is doing. Find something real to do. Find something real to do. That's all I'm saying. Oh my God, why am I getting a text message from Nikki Haley? For crying out loud, why am I getting a?
I think that sums up this show.
What the hell?
Very well.
How did her team get mine? Now I'm in a terrible mood.
You're a Nikki Haley fan. I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah, sure.
I knew it. He's a Nikki Haley fan.
But I'm just saying, all these people are just doing the basic watching. They're trying to make money off of stuff they do for free anyway, like watching videos.
All right.
Why I'm not paying you to watch videos? I'm sorry.
It doesn't matter. They're paying. So you're watching them watching videos
for free.
Yeah, not really. They're taking your time. You watch the pre-roll.
Oh, look, I would be watching network TV, so it's not like that. My time.
You watch pre-roll. Hey, and you're the one giving them. You're giving them views.
Sure, but I ain't giving them no money.
You're giving them views, bro.
No money.
Encouraging it.
I love how they. And if you want to follow us on our Patreon, no.
See somebody following them on that Patreon.
There are people.
Yeah, Patreon's a good business out there somewhere.
Yeah, the Patreon is the pick and the shovel. I like that. I like the pick and shovel businesses.
Well, I'm just saying, there's people actually making money on it.
There are, but once again,
it's
but
like yeah, absolutely.
2% of the content creators are probably making like 80% of the actual wealth out of that.
Yeah, the 80-20 rule everywhere.
No, I'm saying 2%, 80.
Well, that still leaves what the other 18% doing.
Scrambling. Picking up the chump change that's left over.
Might be good chump change though. Might be good chump change.
Accumulative it is, but spread out over millions and millions of content creators, not so much.
Nah, probably. I think there's a good opportunity to be in the 18%. and to get into the upper 18% might be a great.
I
Really,
think
that's
it's
be some
time for
great money
folks to figure out
in each
some
niche
new
too.
ways, some new strategies, some new things to actually produce something that could be
Bro, they
helpful.
are. Trust me,
They're not. All
Yeah,
right,
they are.
look. All right, you're producing a chuckle every
Somewhere.
now and again, a laugh, a chuckle, a smile, which is there's a benefit to that. But I ain't paying for that shit.
God. Oh. Well, yeah. I'm glad I let you just rattle on that one.
I'm glad nobody. Oh wait. Oh, Barbara, you just missed it. Sorry. You
didn't
just
miss
missed,
anything.
you just missed my
You did
sermon.
not miss anything. The old man is talking about quit your job.
I did not say that.
No, quit your hustle and go get a
No.
job. Go get a job. That's what he's saying.
I did not
Ain't
say
no money.
anything of the sort because the jobs you get don't have health care. They don't have 401k. They
Well,
don't have none of that good stuff.
We just trained Brent on why the consumer
Why the
economy
uneasiness
and the
is
consumer
taking place.
sentiment are not lining up.
I get it now, folks. I understand.
He finally gets it.
I get it.
I've been trying to tell him for months.
Nah, you ain't been trying to tell
finally
me
gets
nothing.
it.
There's a reality that I get it. I'm a man of the people, so I get it.
Good on you, bro. Good on you.
I understand.
I'm glad.
I just don't want to see your YouTube channels. That's all.
Oh man, I'm getting ready to go deep in YouTube. I love.
I'm
YouTube.
sitting here and I'll be cheek waiting. Is that supposed to be something else?
Maybe that's what happens when you sit.
Cheek waiting. Barbara, you got to explain what the heck is cheek waiting, because that's a new one on me. Oh, and you're gonna heckle us. Well, sorry, you're a little late for the heckling.
Man.
And she's working. She's got a boutique.
Yeah.
She's working. That's what I like. Got a real
absolutely.
All right, Barbara. We'll let you continue working in the boutique. I've schooled Cold Rice enough for a day. So.
Oh my God, for real. Oh, enjoy your weekend. We're out of here.
Yes, right. Are we back next week?
Yeah. There was no topic. That's the problem.
No, we talked about the economy. Hopefully yours Hopefully yours is better.
Listen to Brent tell people.
School was in session. School was in session, Barbara. That's all I'm saying. Check the replay out. All right, we're out.
Peace.
Time for this.